Those red strawberries are actually gray. There's not a single red pixel in that image. I want to look at the color constancy research of Akayoshi Kitaoka. So we have what looks like a red tomato here, but if you actually sample the colors, you can see that red, green, and blue, if anything, that's a cyan tomato, even though you swear it's red. So I'm going to try to match the look of this with the original source. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a pure cyan square, and I'm going to set the blend mode to screen, and that's not quite matching, so I'm going to set the opacity down to 75%, and that's not quite matching either because this red is too bright, and I want to get it to look like that, because if I sample this red, it's 240, 209, 197, so that's still a red. So what I want to do is I want to create a black square. That's a pure black square, and I'm going to bring the opacity down to 25%. That's going to knock the underlying picture down by 25%. That's a little bit of a weird way of doing it, but that's how I'm going to do it because it kind of simulates the math and the equations at the bottom of this page. So the cyan is at 75%, the black is at 25%. You add those two together, you get 100%. That's why I have those fractions. And if I screen the cyan on top, that looks like a pretty good match for that. And if you sample the colors, 175, 205, 195, that's a cyan tomato, just like that's a cyan tomato, even though sure as heck looks like it's a red tomato. But if I sample that color and brush here, it's actually it's a gray, but it's a gray that is slightly cold, but it's certainly not as red as it looks here.